Hello, I'm Daniel, and I'm just here with a little bit of breaking news audio, I guess you could call it. As you can see below on the ticker, Big Show, Paul Wight, also known to everyone in wrestling as the Big Show, has signed with AEW. I mean, I did not see that coming at all. I'm sure everyone was like, I got a picture off one of my mates, and it just says, Paul Wight is all elite. And I thought, you see like the edited photos, the captions, and I just thought, oh, come on, mate, it's not funny. So I thought, I'll seen it, and I thought, is he being serious here? So I went on the AEW Twitter. He was being serious. So yeah, Paul Wight, the Big Show, has signed with AEW. I mean, it's very rare in wrestling these days that nothing gets leaked. But yeah, I didn't see any signs of this getting leaked. No one was even talking about the Big Show. But yeah, AEW have said that Big Show has signed. The wrestling legend, as they termed him, has signed a long-term deal with the company. He's going to have an extensive role with AEW. On top of his return to the ring, he will serve as a commentator on AEW's newest show, AEW Dark Evolution, which is going to take place on a Monday night on YouTube at 7 p.m. But the thing that you take away from that is, on top of his return to the ring, I mean, at first I was just seeing a few tweets about it, and it was like, oh, he's just going to be a commentator. So I thought, they've just signed him as a commentator. Because really, you'd think if he was returning to the ring, they'd have him, it'd make more sense to have him have a shock debut on Dynamite. But as I said, I think from if you're reading into the detail, they go on to say that he wanted to come to AEW. Tony Khan had to get this one in. He wanted to come to AEW because he believes that AEW is the best promotion in wrestling. Oh, Big Show should have thought before he said that, as I can agree with. If you say that about AEW, you're going to get Alexa Bliss fan 1256 coming at your door. She'll be waiting. He or she will be waiting for you. But yeah, he went on to say that, Tony Khan went on to say that Big Show signed because he believes that AEW is the best promotion in wrestling, and that Tony Khan believes that he has a lot to offer AEW both in the ring and outside the ring as a commentator, host, and ambassador for AEW. So yeah, I mean, it's a random Wednesday afternoon, morning for some of our listeners in the US. And you're getting messages saying that the Big Show signed with AEW. Wrestling in 2021 is absolutely crazy. So, I don't know. I was recording a podcast for our Patreon at the time. I was actually just watching it, Fastlane 2015, reviewing one of those shows for our Patreon, which is www.patreon.com/Daniel Ball Wrestling. I'd be stupid not to plug that one. Also, so if you're watching this video, give us a like the video below. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's just search WWE versus AEW or search Daniel Ball Wrestling. And subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I'll put all the links below. But, I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, you just would not expect this at all. I mean, could they have done this, perhaps announced this on Dynamite? I was just speaking to one of my mates, and he was saying that maybe they wanted to get people to watch the show tonight. Because they have said that they will be going into more detail about the Big Show. Paul Wight's going to be straight. He's always going to be the Big Show in it. I can't imagine. You can sort of you can call Daniel Bryan, even though we were used to Bryan Danielson. You can even call Rusev Miro. You get used to stuff like that. But it's going to take a while, I think, to call the Big Show Paul Wight. If it ever sticks, I'll be shocked. It worked with Jon Moxley, didn't it? I never thought there'd be a time I wouldn't be calling him Dean Ambrose. But could they have waited to just have a shock return on Dynamite tonight, shock debut on Dynamite? I mean, from what they were saying, they've basically said that he's going to, the Big Show is looking forward to studying the AEW talent firsthand before making his return to the ring. So from that, they're probably saying that he's not going to be ready to return to the ring for a few months or something like that. And maybe he's got to train, maybe he's got to get into shape. A lot of people are like, well, the Big Show. I mean, the Big Show, he's just turned 49, which, yeah, it's old for a wrestler. But you've got to bear in mind, he's got 10 years on Sting, who's wrestling on Revolution. He's younger than his old tag team partner, Chris Jericho, who last year was probably the wrestler of the year, him or Will Ospreay. Well, I'm on about 2019. But so at the same age as Chris Jericho was, Chris Jericho was getting wrestler of the year. So Big Show is in probably the lowest weight of his career. I mean, he did his last match for WWE that I can remember, unless there was one on one of these pandemic shows that I didn't watch last summer. His last match was at the top of WWE. It was the night after. It was recorded after Drew beat Brock. Big Show came out and Drew beat the Big Show in the main event of Raw the night after last year's WrestleMania. So it's not like he's been out of the ring for. I mean, Big Show is just one of them. You've not really heard him be discussed for signing for AEW or anything like that, or even like his contract situation with WWE. It's really just come out of nowhere on it, really, which is why it would have just been great, wouldn't it? If there'd have been a match or something. Chris Jericho's cutting a promo tonight on Dynamite and the Big Show walks down. Twitter would have exploded. But hey, for whatever reason, they've chose not to do that. But yeah, I mean, opponents. I mean, there's an effort of an opponents that he could be facing. I mean, I was thinking maybe Lance Archer. Someone was saying Brian Cage. There was always that match with Shaq that he wanted to do in WWE. I feel like it was going to happen at the WrestleMania in Orlando, but that didn't happen. But maybe it'll happen. Shaq's working with AEW, so maybe after the Cody match, he might have a match with Big Show at an All Out in August or something. A match with Sting, I'm not so sure. I mean, the AEW always the start. I can just see all the WWE fans now are going to be like, oh, they're signing all the older talent. If WWE did this, you'd all be complaining, which, Pete, to be fair, they're right. But hey, you're trying to bring eyes to the product. People are no one's going to not know who the Big Show is. So having the Big Show, Paul Wight on your show can only be a good thing. It's not like AEW are going to have him beat like Goldberg beating Bray Wyatt. AEW are not going to have Big Show go out there and beat John Moxley, Kenny Omega. Really, that's not going to happen. So I think it can only help. And it's a positive. So yeah, it's just going to be interesting. I mean, maybe what I was thinking they could do is, obviously, a lot of people think this MJF Inner Circle, Chris Jericho storyline is going to go with MJF taking over the Inner Circle and the Inner Circle turning on Jericho. Maybe we could get Jerry Show reunion. Hey, what would it be? Jericho Wight. But yeah, Jericho and Big Show. I mean, they were all saying that Sammy Guevara was saying that Chris Jericho is a tag team slut. So yeah, maybe why not? Why not team up with the Big Show? So for some reason I can see Big Show and MJF. Maybe not in a match, but don't know. I don't know, but hey, it's exciting. As I said, this was just a quick little. I don't know. I was sat here anyway with my microphone, and I thought, you know what? I might as well get some video out about this. I mean, when breaking news happens, I see someone talking about it, floating about a few ideas. But yeah, another crazy signing from AEW. It's all going on. So yeah, all I can do is just subscribe to the channel, like this video if you got this far. You must have got 8 minutes. And like the video below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, retweet the video, and yeah, I will be doing a show Tuesday. I will be doing a show recapping the wrestling weekend, New Japan, Castle Attack, talking about tonight's AEW, SmackDown on Friday, and everything else in the world of wrestling. So yeah, I'd appreciate it if you could like the video, give us a subscribe, and check out some of the content. If not, find us on Twitter. It's down below, and it's at WWE versus AEW. I'm Daniel. And the Big Show is all elite. Did not expect to be saying that today. See you later.